Hello everyone. The introduction stages for an aspiring indoor gardener are usually found to be the most difficult and frustrating. There are many varieties of different plants out there to choose from that are indoor in preference, as well as a different variety of plant techniques, as well as watering tactics and observations for care, which vary between different types of plants in different types of families. Given all this information, an aspiring indoor gardener could be found to be overwhelmed with information, as well as losing the aspirations that originally started them to want to be an indoor gardener. However, there are a number of different plants that open themselves up to indoor gardening and that are very basic and easy in care. Plants such as the cactus I have here lend themselves positively to the indoor home growing environment. Throughout this speech today, I hope to inform the audience that a number of plants such as this cactus here lend themselves positively to the home environment and are very easy to care for the beginning and inexperienced gardener. As a starting point, the basic construction system of how the cactus is made up lends itself positively to the indoor home growing environment. Starting with the root system. Usually cactuses are spawned from another cactus, or perhaps even a seedling that saps from the top of a cactus and falls to the ground. Due to this propagation method, usually beginning gardeners purchase a cactus such as this one from the store. Unrequired in this type of process is seed propagation, other sorts of different propagation techniques that an aspiring gardener may find difficult or uneasy to deal with. As shown with this cactus, as explained down here by the roots, this cactus has a root system that wraps fully around the cactus base, as well as a thick root internally that stretches up towards the top of the cactus. This is helpful for indoor gardening, as the large root system allows for a grasp of water to be obtained from the normal watering process and allows it to hold the water inside to the period of time of which it's needed by the cactus. As the water gathers in the roots and travels up through the plant, it starts here at the stem. Through the stem it travels upward into the different arms of the plant as shown here. When inside the arms of this plant, the water contains through the act of photosynthesis, which is the gathering of sunlight into the plant, preferably through the green ridges of the plant itself, and creates further growth in the plant, as well as flowers which will appear at the top of the plant, giving a proper growing cycle. Based upon this generalized makeup, it is very easy to maintain basic care of the plant. As previously stated, this plant requires no further propagation. Unlike an annual, of which dies back every year, you'd have to restart again in the spring with new seed pellets or perhaps a new spawn of the plant, this cactus continues to grow in this space, preferably depending on the size of the container, throughout its entire life cycle. In conglomeration with that, the minimal amount of watering required as the roots gather water lends itself positively to the indoor home environment, as preferably putting it in a humid environment such as above a kitchen sink or in a bathroom will lead itself to needing watered less often, which requires less care from the beginning inexperienced gardener. A position which can vary depending upon the location of which is required in your home, but a position which requires minimal sunlight is preferable for a cactus, which helps those who may have less windows in their house, or perhaps an apartment that has little to no windows at all. Also, the stems of the plant continue to grow upward, so perhaps if you had it by a corner of a window, even in the side of a window, the plant itself will extend to the sunlight, requiring minimal movement by the home user. While the trial and error process is necessary for any new experience, the indoor experience and educational process of growing a plant inside can be beneficial in a various number of different ways. As explained before, there are some plants that require difficult care when taken indoors. A plant such as an orchid can require humid conditions as well as a thorough watering process, as an orchid's roots will normally spread outside of the planting container and be contained in peat moss, leaving the roots exposed. However, a plant such as a cactus is no different than any plant outside and requires the same sort of care as a plant would outside. Because of these factors, it helps with the educational process for an aspiring gardener to begin by growing things inside. Then, as their educational process spreads and they can begin growing things outside, they will already have a base of knowledge gained of the information they've learned by growing a plant indoors. And hopefully this information, knowledge, education, can be spread to different aspects of their life, whether it be growing or perhaps even maintaining other different types of plants and growing matter. And hopefully the continuing educational base provided by the plants can enrich and enhearten the lives of those growing them in the future. Thank you.